magic item today, like one of the canes or the fire rod. So, according to our uncle, we're gonna fight Voldemort today, and there we have the fire rod actually, directly off the bat.
So we're gonna get our choice of weapons.
Yeah. What I like with the fire rod is just because of how quick you can finish off Chain Guard in the basement. The fire rod is the quickest weapon of them to use on that. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what weapon we now get from the uncle. Hopefully it's bombs. No, it's the bow today. So we're gonna have a lot of long-ranged utilities in the basement today. And we get some little bit of refill there in the first S. And moving forward, we see a very nice rupee drop as well for a few of our runners. So at the start of the game here, we are gonna see them go through the escape sequence, rescue Zelda, to later escort her through the sewers, and then we're gonna get into the real meat of things once we get out of the castle. And we are gonna get synced up in just a moment, so bear with us. We're gonna see Hitsuan is the one we first see down there. A red rupee, and is our first item in there today. So, one thing we really want to find here while we are tracking down through Hyrule Castle and the escape sequence, we want to find some bombs. They are gonna be used for one bombable wall at the end.
Yeah, none of the runners found bombs yet, but with the bow, you always get plenty of ammo to farm up, so I would expect them to be killing a few extra enemies on the way.
Yeah, that's one of the good things with the bow, with the fact that it gives you that opportunity to farm. However, the bow could also be a little bit of a trap, with the fact that when you get the bow, you're kind of leaning towards E-step, and if that one is a pendant and even then it doesn't have anything, then you have just invested a lot of time into it. And we see that in the first phase we have a piece of heart. But I do like that it got the fire rod the early, if they want to get to Eastern early, because that could help them inside of that specific dark room in Eastern.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is one thing that you guys in the chat might want to get into early, with the fact that let's start practicing rather because of the next update where lamp can be on almost nice because the fire rod will be enough in the logic to get that one. So those are one of the things that you might want to practice.
Yeah, I think that will only apply to some of the easier dark rooms, and only with the fire rod. So you'll be able to... The torch is just exactly on the right of the entrance, so it's not that hard if you know where to shoot.
Yeah, there are a few ones that really springs directly to the mind. Those ones are, of course, the one we are talking about in Eastern on the way back to Amos. Then we also have one in Pod, which is the one with all the rupees, or the two ones that immediately sprung out to you. So we are getting the map there, meaning that we are gonna see 3 items at the back, and we do see that both Hitsan and Siasme has, and as well as Ravis has had And also the Rune Ninja also gotten the 8 bomb drops, so they are gonna have quite enough bombs, not only for escape here, but also for Kakuiko later.
Yeah, getting that 8 bomb drop and escape is always great.
Yeah, with that they have enough bombs for the early game. They don't need to get any more after that. So Sias May and he's done the first one, so he's here. We find the singular destiny, 300 rupees, but most importantly, so the mirror is going to be very handy later on because of you can use that for a little bit quicker routings in some occasions, but also for a few checks that is required. Plus, if you are able to get up to the mountain early, you can use that to get to Hera very quickly, and that could also unlock the east side of that mountain.
Yeah, Ravis accidentally took some damage from his own bomb here, so he's got to be really careful on a half a heart.
Yeah, we do see a semi-quitter from Siasme. We're probably gonna see South or Eastern very early. So we do also see the pendants there in Eastern and the Green pendant in Desert. What were you going to say, Tim?
Nothing? No, I was just talking about Ravis on the half a heart there. Just gotta be really careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though he's out of the escape sequence, there's still a bunch of stuff that can kill him. And what we see there from Siasme is a 1.0 Japanese exclusive glitch where if you spam your mirror when you're moving a block, it disappears. Oh, look at that, 300 in the drop down and in the flooded item. So they're gonna have a lot of money this seed.
Yeah, for sure. That's Zora money already.
Yeah, not only that, that is nearly all of the money they need for the entire seed when it comes to the different rupee sets.
Ravis getting a much needed hearts from the tree pull. Ooh, Chisame taking a death in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, the bow is not the easiest weapon to use against them if they are coming up close to you. But I think we are gonna see now Blind Sut. We find the blue mail, a piece of heart, the book, and another piece of heart. So that might point our runners to an early desert. But we are gonna see Siasme take a second try on Mini Mordor. So when you are using the bow, you want, or really any projectile to try to kill this Mordor, you want to shoot them at the bottom because they have a little bit harder to dodge, but beautiful done there by Siasme by the way, and he's able to get it on the second try. And there we have the sword from the first, from the Guardian there, and the first bottle for Siasme down there in the well. And also the paper seal. So you are seeing Siasme continue on for the Icewall Cave. It usually is either that one or the desert that you do tend to isolate. Yeah, Siasme is gonna have to be careful here. These crabs do 2 hearts of damage, so Siasme, don't get hit again. Is able to do it though. Yeah, just a piece of heart in Icewall Cave, and after those initial good checks in Kakuiko, we have not found really anything yet that stands out. We're gonna see if Sikid is doing it better. Nope.
Ooh, that's a flute in the tavern.
That is very, very handy. And stand up for the bird, everybody. So we see that... Continue.
So I was going to say, it's interesting Chiname passed over that 300. I mean, I know you got a lot of money already, but you're still going to want money for Zora, for eventually for Pod, and a few other places.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the fact that Sora seems like it's just around the corner, really, we only need to find one more item to have access to it. I wouldn't skip it, really.
Yeah, I mean, when you're literally right next to it, it takes 2 seconds to pick up. I guess, see, I don't know. Just really wants to save that 2 seconds.
Yeah, apparently. But we did see red mail there on the race game.
Yeah, I don't think any runners are going to be bothering with that.
Yeah, but it's definitely nice for the newer runners who goes into these daily races. But for these guys, ooh. Okay, now we know what we needed the book for and why we got that early.
Yeah, the flute makes it so much easier to just go over there and check that right away.
Yeah, very early hammer is actually quite good because look at the inventory for Julian here, for example. He has the fire rod, he has the flute, he has a mirror. He can go up to Hera immediately, and most importantly, east side of Death Mountain. There are so many checks up there, so wouldn't be surprised to see Julian go there after he's done here in Desert.
Yeah, for sure. We do see that desert is boots locked, but it's a pendant, so we may not have to worry about that.
Yeah, we can hope that at least. So I saw earlier that there was some talk about Yasmay deciding to skip out on Kakariko and go to Southside first. The reason why a few runners like to do that is because if you find a bottle somewhere or the flute somewhere else, you don't have to do double dips to Kakariko. In this case, we had both the items in Kakariko, so it was required to do that. But yeah, that was the reason why Yasmay decided to wait a little bit with Kak.
Meanwhile, Ravis checking out Sahashula. Not too much inside there.
Yeah, and we are seeing his van following in Ravis' footstep, and is also gonna check that one.
Now it's worth noting, even though the small key was on the torch in Desert, the big key was available without the boots. So they could choose between either completing Desert for that green pendant or stealing the key and going to the right side. Of course, none of it would be in logic without the boots.
Yeah, because the logic is expecting you to not take a small key from the back and go to the front. They want you to get that one first. And plus, we couldn't have done it either way right now because we didn't have any glove.
Oh yeah, Chloe Pryor pointing out you do need gloves to get to the back of Desert.
Yeah, that is just one of the places where you forgot that you need one extra item to be able to do it.
Ravis now going straight up the mountain.
Yeah, so Yasmay following the footsteps. It is unfortunate that they are not going to Desert first for that hammer, because they are gonna have to climb this mountain twice because of that. At least they got a weapon for Hera.
Yeah, this one thing I've started doing anytime I have the flute, I just I always flute to 6 just to check that desert ledge spot. It's it takes about 5 seconds to do it. And it's just good to have that knowledge if there's something there. So skipping that check is, I think, going to hurt Ravis a little bit right now.
Yeah, both for him and CS May. But we are learning that we don't need to Mimic Cave today, which is quite...
Which is, am I trying to get that bomb jump that
Yeah, that is...
messes it up?
Yeah, that strat is very quick, but it is very hard. It's much harder than the other. And we do see that the 5-6 crystal is Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock today. I missed where the last pennant was. And because we have the book, we are gonna check Ether Tablet.
So I got a quick screenshot. Meyer is the last pendant, and this 5-6 crystals are Swamp and Turtle Rock.
Alright. So at least one of what people have called the Trinity of the bad ones is at least removed from the crystals. Still can mean that we have to go there because we got that early flute. But we might not need to do it.
Love is in Hype Cave. And there's a Bombo down.
Ooh, that can be interesting. It could mean that the logic expects us to have to do Aga and then run down to Hype Cave to get the glove. Hopefully, we find the other glove somewhere before that. But we are now gonna see Hitan and Julian making their way up the mountain. They have the hammer, so they will be able to go to east side of that mountain after they're done with Hera.
Oh!
Okay, we will not have to do Aga today, because on that hint, we saw the lamp, and that is required for Aga, so it will be no Aga today.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So we know that other glove is going to be available somewhere in the light world, and it's not going to be fire locked.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very, very interesting. However, apparently some people didn't see. That basically told us that lamp was on the fire locked section in Meyer. And the big key as well. That actually does bring an interesting point. Looking at the tracker, you see Pod and TR is both crystals. The games expect to go to Meyer before finishing those two.
Yeah, so it would not surprise me if we see all these runners not getting that lamp.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But Javis just rushing through Hera, and he got the first blood on and as I said earlier, because he doesn't have flute, he's gonna have to run away and see now to his appointment the hammer on the desert.
And Julian is checking that ether tablet, and that's just bombs up there.
Yeah. So should we expect at the moment that we are gonna see a glove or flippers on East F Mountain? There's also one other interesting factor that we also have to see here. For Jasmine and Ravis, they have to do this Moldon fight here vanilla-like, because they are gonna have to go through the race phase that we just see Jasmine beat, while Hizran and Julian can use the hammer to just skip that phase entirely. But we also have right now the fact that with that fire rod and the bomb boat. I feel like the game is pointing us to Ice Palace.
Well, possibly, but we still need a few more items for that to be in logic. Most notably, that moon pearl.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it might just be a little bit of hint from a little bit of wink with the eye from the seed. Yeah, we are seeing Sasme, also seeing that hammer on the desert lady, so it's gonna go there as well. Yeah, just as we have seen both the items, and the small key is locked inside of the basement, so we are not gonna have any coffee breaks today.
Ooh, Julo. Getting knocked down that center hole, that sends you down 2 floors. That is a really unfortunate loss of time.
That is unfortunate, and that means that Hitran has run past. As long as it doesn't fall down, he is gonna be the one that I currently see is in the head. Is ahead when it comes to this early game. But Ravis is back on the mountain and has already made his way over to the east side. So we are gonna begin with the spiral today, or as I like to call it when you don't have the boots, the walk of shame. Or simply Resident Sleeper Cave. And we learn from that the Resident Sleeper today holds just 20 rupees. We are seeing Ravis here go this way to Paradox, and that is because he has a mirror. This is a little bit quicker if you have the mirror to do this way.
Yeah, not if you go in the wrong entrance first, though.
Yeah. So, Hard Container and Quake is the first 2 tests. So, we almost have all the medallions, which is definitely very, very nice. And here we have upstairs. And a nice spin there from Ravis, killing off 2 of the mini Mordons. Hard Container, there we have our first Power Glove. We're gonna see what the rest 2 has. We have bombs and Big Red. So, right now, for all we know, Moon Pearl is either in Eastern or it is up at Zora.
Yeah, that's right. That glove does put Zora in logic now.
And we are gonna see the fake flipper here from Ravis to get up there a little bit faster. Might decide to just get the other items since that he can. No. He's at least gonna take Lake Hylia. And it's a piece of heart. So because he doesn't have the Moon Pearl yet, he can't get the 2 chests inside Waterfall. But we're actually seeing Hitran running back to Desert. As I said before, we got the big key. We could just run to Lamolas, and if that has an item, then that is excellent routing. So this is a little bit of a gamble from Hitran.
Yeah, definitely.
And we are gonna see Julian Ninja making his way up to Ice Rod Cave. He's probably also gonna do some fake flippers after. But Yasme is heading over to Sahasula in Eastern. And there it is! Pearl is on the scam fish.
Yeah, another thing to note about Hitsuin's play, because that small key is on a torch, the boss is technically boots locked. So, the game considers the possibility that you steal this key and then go open the right side of Desert. And that would mean you wouldn't be able to get to the boss without the boots. So this is out of logic for Hitsuin.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are seeing a little bit of an interesting route here from Ravis, and that is that the first place he's gonna go to in Dark World is to Pod. Instead of, for example, as we saw before, Hype Cave where Tinesmith is. But this is actually quite a nice routing when it comes down to it, because he can just run into Pod. It has a lot of items inside of it. Plus, also, you can just go right ahead, and if you want to, head into Eastern directly after, because we have not seen Eastern yet, and it can definitely have some type of very nice item in it. And I really like the synchronization between Sasme and Julian Ninja at the moment. And he's gonna miss one of his fire swords, so he's gonna use sword and bow for this. And we see that there is a compass here at Lamolas, but he is rewarded with a green pendant. At the same time, we see that there is a small key in the first chest of Pod. So we are gonna go a little bit further before we head over to the Bowlock side. Hopefully, Ravis get a small key in this chest, because that would be the best routing you can hope for. It is. So that means that he can check the big chest, the big key chest rather. And so far we've only seen really arrows from Eastern. And we're gonna get a hint here. Alright then. And they do not have the big key, and they don't have lamp, so technically the main chest in the Eastern is not in logic, so both Jasmine and Julian Ninja is just gonna go away from there.
Yeah, especially since they have that hint that the lamp is in the Dark World, they know the Moon Pearl will not be there.
Yeah.
The Cane of Samaria requires a bomb.
Ooh, that is an interesting hint. So, let's just think what places we have left that needs a bomb. We have one in Village of Outcasts, which is the brewery. We have Swamp Palace, has one chest behind the bomb. What more? Do you think of any?
Well, Hype Cave for sure.
That is very true. We could have a very interesting Hype Cave today.
Yeah, we already know it's got a glove.
We are seeing both Yasme and Julian India going up to Sora, so they are on the right track. While Hitsuan has made his way into Eastern.
And Raven's got the big key, so he's just going to go straight for the boss here.
It is technically a little bit faster to do this compared to clearing it out first. If he really wants to get some items after, he can just go in and do that. So yeah, it's understandable why he would do that. Although I do like just clearing it out first before going to the boss normal.
So Hitsuin's play into Desert not paying off, by the way. There was just 50 rupees on that green pendant. So unless this does end up being a pedestal seed, that is a big waste of time for Hitsuin.
Yeah. So let's take a little bit step back as we see Julian gonna go and get his tiny smiths from Hype Cave. So let's wait with what's gonna say. So for first in Hype we have the blueberries. The second is a big red. The third is a big red. The fourth is Kano Samara, and there we have Titan Smith. That is an amazing Hype Cave.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so as I was gonna say before, let's step back a little and watch what we need to finish this seed. Because then we can determine what can be on the pedestal. So, Ice Rod is obligatory. You can see potentially flippers on it. And what more?
The hook shot could be on the pedestal.
Yeah.
And possibly ether if that's required for Turtle Rock.
Yeah. But yeah, it could only be the hookshot if you do find boots because of Meyer.
Yeah.
So that is just 50-50 at this point for that one.
Yeah. So Ravis
has.
Go ahead.
Oh, Hitsuan taking a death there at while fake flippering.
Bit of a rough start for Hitsuan.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate. And we are gonna see Ravis go back into pod after getting its second crystal. So he's gonna clear it out, which would be to be expected. And we do also need another sword, I realize now. So that could also be one of the pendants. If it is a sword, we might not see a ped.
Yeah, a required sword on the pedestal is extremely unlikely, but certainly possible.
Yeah, it could happen. Yeah, Ravis has made his way to the back of pod. But we have to remember, right now, pod isn't where they really should be at this point. What they should really be doing is try to find a hookshot or boots for Meyer, and also the medallion needed for Meyer, because the lamp is there.
Yeah. Ravis finding a red boomerang there in pod.
Oh, wonderful, the lag meringue. And we are gonna see Ravis now navigating through the dark maze. And Hitchan is gonna win and collect his Titan Smith straight away. And except for that crystal and that Langmorang and Quake, of course, there's nothing really in a pond that just sticks out on.
Yeah, pod a bit of a bust. That's not surprising given how we know that the lamp is in Misery Mire, so it's locked by quite a few items. So that would tend to make pod a bit less likely to have progression.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna see Ravis pick up his Titan Smith and Kane in just a minute. After that, where do you think he's gonna go?
I would imagine probably heading to the Thieves Town area. We can clear out Skullwoods and Thieves Town, lots of items there. If he wanted to be bold, he could maybe go for Ice Palace, or even up to Dark Death Mountain to check out what we need for Turtle Rock.
But yeah, one of the items that we actually did find in Pod in that Bowlock section was the cape.
Oh, I missed that.
That one was on the Bowlock section, along with the big key to Pod. We are gonna see Ravis going into Swamp Palace. I quite like this gamble a bit because of right now we see that it's only within to get that hint, but if there would be an interesting item in there, that could have been a very cool gamble to say the least.
Yeah, although with no flippers, that's not really an option at the moment.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm surprised Ravis doesn't go to check the Bombos tablet.
Yeah, I can have certainly done that while he was there. What I'm thinking is that he's probably gonna check that once he does Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess since he can't get the item anyway, he's not so worried about it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Ether is much tougher in that way because it definitely feels like more of a trek to get that one. So you definitely check that one when you are around Hera. Yeah, nothing from Stumpy or from K45. So digging game coming up. So we got a really nice wall of text here in the chat. And thank you for that. That is quite nice. A few of those ones I didn't think of. Yeah, you're gonna see Sasmate finish off Pod now as well. He's then also making his way into the Bowlock section. And Julian Ninja is right on his heel. And that is a lot of digs for the digging game. For just Blueberry. So Ravis is gonna be the first of our runners to go into Beliefs of Outcast. And really on this side of Dark Hyrule in general. But he's gonna start this main chest. No, the chain quest. The quest chain for the smiths, rather.
Oh. We have the Ether Medallion somewhere. That must have been in the Dark Maze. Both Jula Ninja and Ravis have the Ether Medallion.
I know that the compass was at the bottom, so it could have been on the top then.
Okay, so we're not worried about medallions at all then.
Yeah, that's a very nice find, absolutely. And just a red rupee from the Hammer Pigs. So we're gonna see what the Smiths gives us today. Now, since he has started the Smith chain here, do you think he's gonna pick up the purple chest immediately or wait a little bit for that one?
I think with the flute, it's you might as well pick it up here.
At the same time, we do also have Chief Town and Skullboost that we could finish just straight off, and that is what he's gonna do.
Yeah, so he might do the purple chest after.
Yeah, at the same time, it's not that it doesn't take too long to go back after you completed those ones to do it, so kudos to him for that.
Or he may just skip it, who knows.
And yeah, look, his son doesn't have Ether, so where was Ether then?
It must be... I don't know.
Is it possible that his son went directly to the back or simply just skipped a chest somewhere?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see where Ether was.
Yeah, let's see if Julian Ninja and Hitran both completing the crystal Helmasaur and gets their second crystal. Same time we see Sasme going up to Kakariko to get into Wheels of Outcast. Or Skullwoods, depending on where he goes after he's gone for the warp.
Yeah, Zavisti in chat makes a good point. Hitsune still has one key left in Pod, so he still has some chests in there he hasn't done.
Yeah, he probably just went to the back immediately because of just how well placed that big key was. But look over on the bottom left side. Julian has decided to go over to Meyer.
Did you see it that it's Quake?
Not that it mattered, but yeah, we're gonna have Meyer set. Red Rupee and 10 arrows from that one.
And Jula looks like he probably won't bother going into Pod. He already knows one of the items is the lamp, which doesn't really need. It's probably not worth the time to go get it.
Yeah, it also comes from the fact that he don't have either hookshot or boots.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, Yasme is going directly to the back of Skullwoods. At the same time, we see Rave is going through Chief Town. We're gonna get a hint from him now. Thanks, game. Oh, and look at his screen. We're gonna see a hammer jump. And that was a very, very quick setup from him.
Jula getting the first item of Skullwoods, just a heart piece.
Yeah, no key there from that first test. That means that he gonna have to be a little bit more creative with his routing because he could very well be locked behind those two chests at the front. But you guys hear the music? It means that Yasme is fighting Mofla. And a beautiful spin to finish off Mofla. Yasme is gonna pick up his third crystal, and there we have the other item, which is just some arrow refills. At the same time, we see Ravis has just rescued the maiden and has a small key, so we are gonna go over to the big. And there find Flippers. Hello, Ice Palace is now open for us.
Ice Palace, Swamp Palace is half open.
Yep. But with that, as someone pointed out in the chat, that eliminated the few possibilities for Ped.
Yeah, we could still see a hookshot or ice rod on there.
Oh, blind! Your stupid puns. Did you see what he said today?
I missed it.
A new light bulb invented. Enlighten me. But with that pun, Ravis defeats Blind and he's gonna pick up his third crystal. At the same time, we see Julian Ninja doing the same thing, but with Mofla, also getting his third crystal. And did you see what was on Bumpy Ledge? I missed that.
It was just some junk.
Good. But that actually gets me to think about one thing, because we see Jasmine right now. Have you actually seen what's on library?
Hang on.
Library.
We got a pedestal check coming up.
Get your hypes up in the chat, everybody. Julian brings out the books. And
It's a bottle.
Ooh. Okay, not the ones that you expect to see there, but that means that Ped is dead. Yeah, the master bottle is right now sitting on the pedestal. And we had the graveyard ledge check there from Siatme. Missed what it was because I was hyped about that master bottle. Oh, apparently we missed when Siatme was up there checking out pedestal.
Yeah, it makes sense. You got the book and the mirror, no reason not to check it when you're doing Skullwoods.
Yeah. And we are seeing Hitran go into this chest over here. I am gonna assume he has not been to the front yet and find that other item, so he's doing this one first. Oh, thank you so much in the chat.
So far, all of our runners have done most of the same things. Ravis a little bit in the lead, I would say, because he did not bother doing Eastern Palace, and Hitsoin maybe a little bit behind because of that Desert Palace play. But besides those two things, runners have basically done all the same stuff.
Yeah, it feels a bit like we are right now in a bit of a linear year one, but it's fine at the moment.
So, with those Titans, Mitts, and Flippers, I would expect Ice Palace to be a play in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or possibly Dark Death Mountain, but you'd really like to have the Ice Rod if possible.
If not that, you really want to have hook shots before that as well.
That too, yeah.
Because otherwise, right now, we would be only going up there for 2 checks, and that would be Super Bunny Cave and Spike Cave. But we are gonna see Ravis now with his fight against Moth. Mothla decides to use the hammer. It is a cool idea because of the increased damage it does compared to the sword. And there we have it. Very beautiful fight from Ravis.
Alright, so Ravis up to 4 crystals already.
Yeah.
Anytime you got four crystals and you're not even at the 50-minute mark, that is, you gotta feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, absolutely. The seal have been handing us some very nice items. And I do also like one thing that Ravis has not done what a few other have done. Because he knows he has 3 medallions, he doesn't need to go to Meyer right now. He doesn't need to go up the mountain to check what he need. So we're probably gonna see him just go around here at the bottom and then go up once he has a little bit more items.
Alright, Ravis heading to pick up a potion. So this probably an indication he's going into Ice Palace.
Yeah, it definitely is. However, I don't think it would have really been needed today because you have bombos. If we would run low on magic in Ice Palace, we can just use that. But might want to use some extra magic against Cold Stare. But first, we're gonna get some flipper locations that we couldn't do before.
I think Without having only the fighter sword, you're probably going to want to just use the fire rod on Gold Stairs. So having that extra magic in hand is definitely going to make that a bit easier of a fight.
Yeah. So we are gonna see Hobo. It is 100 rupees. Apparently we saw that from his run earlier, but we weren't really focused on that one at that point. So, are we gonna see Waterfall Cave, or are we just gonna dip into Ice Palace immediately?
I imagine he'll check the Waterfall Cave first. Pretty quick check.
Yep, he is. At the same time, we see that our other runners are currently in Safe Town. Out of them, Yulen Ninja is the one further in. After that is Asmei and Hitchan finishing up at the bottom there. And there's another bottle inside of the Waterfall Cave. So Rafe is gonna check out immediately what the fairy gives us today.
It's a red potion, that's not bad.
Yeah, that is probably A tier, or what I consider when it comes to the bottles, what they can contain. And I had actually a really fun thing happening the other day when I was playing and go up and throw my bottle into that pool. If I decided to just throw it back, it didn't have anything in it.
Yeah, I've had that happen before. It's interesting. And we see a unique item requires the book. So we already saw the ether tablet. That was nothing. So that bombos tablet's going to have something.
So where's our second sword then? But we are gonna see Ravis use Quake here against the Penguins. The quickest way for him to kill them off at the moment. And he's awarded with 10 bombs.
Yeah, I mean, you like having bombs for Ice Palace, so might as well have them right at the front.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Julo Ninja taking down Blind as Chizame about to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, 4th crystal for Yulen Ninja and Seasmay. So you are gonna see Ravis in just a moment. Probably gonna do the bomb jump. Yes, he's setting up the bomb jump. So you want to explain it, Etium?
Well, this saves a lot of time. You just line up, you gotta put the bomb basically lined up right at the top of the screen, and you kind of move down so the top of your head is right below that sort of thick line there. And it just bombs you right past the switch. And doing Ice Palace this way almost always saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna assume that what we have in the chat here is also a little bit detailed setup of how to set up the bomb jump.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you're getting into Rando and you want to like run it competitively, you absolutely need to know the bomb jump for Ice Palace. That's probably the most important bomb jump in the game.
Yeah, there are a lot of different ways depending on what sprite you use for what you want to set up. I am going to assume that picture, I'm not pressed it yet and checked it, but I'm going to assume it is using the shadow setup.
Ravis found 2 items in the first 2 chests in Ice Palace, and he is going to just go straight to the boss, and I do kind of like this play. So
yeah, I like it as well. Because he find items, he's gunning that the last item is gonna be here.
Yeah, either the last item on Cold Stare or it's not important. So I think this is a pretty good gamble by Ravis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, you know, every once in a while it's going to burn you, but overall I think it's a good play. Oh no!
Ravis was committed to do the hammer strats there and takes the hit. That means he's gonna have to go
really
in.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. I had a question though. Would he check the chest or would he just nope out of it and just go back to Cold Stare?
I think he's just going to go back to Cold Stare.
Right. Same time. You're gonna have to keep an eye on Julian Ninja Scream because he's right now delivering Gary's lunchbox.
Yeah, and I would be surprised if he doesn't go and check that Bombos tablet while he's here.
Yeah, yes, why not? It's just one screen away. And a very nice 8 bombed up there from Ravis, but he's gonna skip it.
Yeah, I wouldn't skip it when you aren't full bumps, but I guess it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, you won't have bombs here.
Okay, purple chest, just a piece of heart, but we do know there's going to be a unique item here on the Bombos tablet.
Yeah.
What's it going to be?
And it is...
It's the boots!
The boots! Alright.
So imagine runners will probably come back for that once they find a Master Sword. Unless they are like already in go mode. But even still, you might want to have it just in case you have that big key on the torch situation.
Yeah. We are gonna see Sass may go into Swamp to check the hint. Looks like Julian is gonna dip Swamp though.
Yeah, it's an interesting gamble, especially doing it before Ice Palace.
Absolutely. Just imagine if we will find a sword here.
And as I suspected, Ravis is just going straight back to Cold Stare.
Yep. Looking at his magic, he's gonna have to use bombos.
Yeah, well, he does have that blue potion, and I hope he remembers to use it this time.
Yeah, just look at his health. He can only take one hit from the puffs, then he's gonna have to drink it.
He accidentally used his bombos a second time. That is not going to do anything.
Hey, it was a war dance. He needed to get psyched up for the fight.
First item in Swamp, just a heart piece.
Yeah, those ice falling from the ceiling is not helping Ravis at the moment.
Yeah, he does also have a red potion still, so he should be fine.
Yeah. Just look at them. The ice is knocking him all over the place. Already taking 5 hits from the ice. Falling down.
There we go.
Whew. I hold my breath there a little bit.
And I think that was the map on Cold Stare, so there is an item left in Ice Palace.
Yeah. So we have an interesting question here from in the chat here, and it is about which way the ice is gonna split into after it falls. Is there a specific logic behind that?
I don't know. I think it's just random. Oh my, look at that. Julo Ninja finding the hook shot in Swamp Palace. That is huge.
And that couldn't have been better placed either, because he can just no barrel left side and go directly to the back.
Wow, that is a huge gamble paying off for Julo Ninja. And it might take our other runners a long time to find that.
Yeah, absolutely. However, look over that Ravy screen. He's going up the mountain. This is not what he wants to do at the moment. A nice little bomb set up there from Chisme in Ice Palace.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Chizume does the same thing as Ravis, or if he does go for that last item. Meanwhile, Julo going straight for left side swamp.
Well, for all we know, it could be 2 items over there. One of them could be important. We are still looking for a lot of items to finish off this seed, so why not? And it looks like Ravis is gonna dip into Turtle Rock. So was Ether required for Turtle Rock, meaning that we had a reversal for the medallions today?
Yeah, reverse vanilla.
Yeah. Could that be then technically French vanilla when it comes to the medallions?
I don't know. But left side swamp, just a bunch of cash.
Yeah.
Here's Super Bunny Cave on Ravis' side.
What was so super about that cave?
Not much.
And Ravis is gonna go into Turtle Rock. There are a few times where we have found the ice shroud inside of Turtle Rock. For him, let's hope he finds it in there. At the same time, we see Chisme is going around, and we are gonna see what the last item is there for.
Oh, Ether and Palace of Darkness, so
Actually, a
confirming
good
what
hint.
we couldn't see.
Yeah, actually a good hint, but not what we needed. But there is an interesting actually point here that we have to take up. The reason why Ravis maybe didn't check Ice Palace was because he didn't have the hook shot. He had to do the bomb jump over to this side today.
Yeah, but I mean, even with the hook shot, it is a common skip when you get 2 items in the first 2 chests. You know, it's kind of like it takes 2 or 3 minutes to clear out this right side, and you're doing it all for 1 item, or maybe not even any if the last item ends up being on cold stairs. So the last item is a shovel.
Oh
That's
no,
interesting.
no! Do you see what Ravis did?
Oh, he went the wrong way.
Yeah, and he does not have a lot of mana left because of that.
Yeah. There is a... oh, he's got just barely enough. There is a magic refill there, just in case he ran out.
Yeah, he could just mirror out and take that one. Double small key behind the torsos. That is not what you want to see.
Oh, did Julo got... Julo must have already got all the items in Swamp Palace, because he skipped that last chest.
Yeah, there were 2 items on the left side.
Ooh, Ravis getting bumped off there. That's never fun.
Yeah, the enemies are quite irritating in here. But speaking of that, we hear the music. Chisme is on Corsair. At the same time, Julo Ninja is fighting Argus. And has a Master Sword. So we find the Master Sword here in Swamp Palace.
Oh, I did not notice that. So he'll be able to go get those boots. That's convenient.
Yeah. There you go. Cold stares down for Seasmay. He's gonna get the fifth crystal, and we're gonna see the fifth crystal from Julian Ninja as well. And now we see Hitran entering Cold Stare as well.
So with that Master Sword find, we are officially now in Ice Rod mode.
Yeah.
Raven's getting bodied by those anti-fairies.
Yeah, they were quite mean. He has a red potion, so if he really needs it, he could use that. Oh, I actually hope that was the Sanctuary Heart in the lava. Oh, Hitran is gonna have to be crazy. He's on one heart and is taken down.
Oof.
But
oh,
he's
got a fairy. Okay, no big deal. And Shazami can check that shovel. Just bombs there.
And at the same time, over at Julian's side, the speedrun has officially begun. And as it looks like Seasmay is gonna follow Julian's footsteps and go into Swamp next.
Or not.
Oh, it might be the Pyramid Fairy into Catfish?
Yeah, that's more what it looks like here. Ravis, meanwhile, finding that Cane of Burna in Turtle Walk.
Yeah, and it looks like Hisran is gonna go over to the Dark Death Mountain as well. Might even dip into Turtle Rock. And looking at the keys here, they would not have been able to skip the laser bridge. They could have if they decided to skip Lava Cess, but that would require you to have to do the go mode there. And yeah, we are now seeing the dark Turtle Rock here, which I actually think is not too bad of a dark room. Ooh, Ravis second right there a little bit too early. Ooh, Ravis seems to have a little bit of problem.
I think he's good now.
Yeah.
Looks like Shazami actually can do Catfish and probably combo this in with the Zora area checks.
Yeah, that would be a cool idea, absolutely. And we are gonna see Ravis activating the safety door, but that enemy is not helping him out at all. On one heart, gonna have to activate that door now.
A laser bridge with no magic and no boots, not very fun.
Yeah, you basically have to time when you step out.
Or just eat some damage, yeah.
We are gonna see Sasmay also going up there now.
Alright, just one chest left. Is it the Ice Rod? No. Alright, so where is that Ice Rod?
Yeah, that is a good question.
We've seen all of the crystal dungeons, so let's see what overworld we got left. Could be in Desert Palace, could be in Misery Mire. There's still one item left there. We still got Boots locations, so Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. I think Lumberjack was checked.
If that was the case, I didn't see it.
I think Hitsui checked the Lumberjack and it was nothing.
We are getting here that it was, in fact, hard piece.
Julo Ninja, I think, not counting items because he should have already got all 3 items here.
Well, if that's the case, then we know that Ravis did the right choice of just collecting the first 2. And if you see on him, Ice Rod was not in Turtle Rock.
Ravis is going into Eastern. This is interesting because he hasn't been in here.
At the
let's
same
see if he
time,
goes all the way to Armos.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to point out. Looking at other trackers, the others that were in there, they immediately went out before going into the dark rooms of Eastern. So if he could find something in the big chest or at Armos, that is definitely an advantage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as someone is pointing out to the chat, I'm probably expecting Ravis is gumming that hookshot is not in Swamp Palace. And that is why he's going here first. Yeah, we have a question there as well. Hookshot was the room below where the big chest is in Swamp Palace. In that circle room.
Yeah, I believe that's the compass chest, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
And Julo Ninja taking down Coldstare. Much easier fight with that Master Sword.
Yeah. Beautiful. He is going to be on 6 crystals, and he's now in the lead when it comes to the crystal count.
Yeah, definitely. Julo Ninja definitely with the advantage here. All the other runners either already did Turtle Rock or are in it now, and it's going to be a waste of time for them. So if Julo Ninja can find that Ice Rod before heading into Turtle Rock, that'll be massive. Looks like Ravis might be making that swamp dive now.
Yeah. So, I want now to propose a little game for the chat here. I want you to type out where you think Ice Rod is gonna be. And remember, pedestal has been checked, so don't guess that.
I think it's going to be Bonk Rocks.
Ooh, interesting.
What are you thinking?
I am probably gonna agree that it is the boost looking at, but I'm gonna take the other one. I'm gonna say Kings too.
Alright.
But yeah, we are seeing Ravis now do the dip into a hookshot. We'll have to get his hookshot rather. So yeah, we are now seeing his fan also doing the dark room in
Oh, Julo Ninja is heading up to Turtle Rock, but he will also be able to check the Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, that's probably why he's going up here. He has a bit more than the others can do. And that if he does decide to go into hookshot, that is eliminating then one of the guesses that we have seen in the chat. if hookshot is ISO is not there.
Yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't check King's Tomb and Bonker Rocks first, because those are a couple of quick checks. And if the Ice Rod is there, you don't want to leave that behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of that, he got boots, and because of that very interesting hookshot in Swamp Palace, I would have gone for that. Absolutely. That is definitely one of those places that you want to check.
And Ravis about to get that hook shot. And here's Hookshot Cave from Jewel Ninja.
So a total of 4 items here. I assume there was nothing on the floating island.
Yeah, floating island was cash, I believe. But we do see powder. And there it is, the ice rod.
Ooh.
And, hey, why not, a tempered sword. Alright, Jewel Ninja is in go mode at 1 hour 16 minutes.
Very, very nice go mode here for him.
And yeah, this is a massive lead now for Jewel Ninja. All of the other runners are going to have to double dip Turtle Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. This is big for Julian.
He'll be able to just go mode right through it. He's even got that tempered sword, so he doesn't have to worry about finding another sword. He might check a little bit of chests for silver arrows, but I don't think he's going to be too worried about them.
Yeah, absolutely. If it would have been on a master sword, I would have understood it more to look for silvers, but I don't think it will see too much of that checking because of that temper. I would just like now imagine that powder is the item that have silvers just because of where it was. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, that'd be rude.
And we are seeing the spin strat here from Ravis against Argus. One advantage here that Julian Ninja has that the other couldn't do is that he can skip the lava test and that way completely skip laser bridge because of what items were. Or rather what the keys were.
Yeah, anytime you have a big key and 2 small keys right in the front of Turtle Rock, it is usually pretty good.
Yeah, we are gonna see Ravis run over to Bonk Rocks. I don't know, to Bombo's tablet, so he's also gonna pick up his boots. And it looks like Ravis is gonna go ahead and do the boots locations. No.
Oh, he's going into the dock. We're probably going to route this in with the Graveyard Ledge and Catfish checks.
Yeah, that makes sense. Same time, we see he's gonna pick up his hookshot and immediately goes to the back. He's skipping left side.
Yeah, Ravis did the same as well.
And we know right now that that is the right option to do. I'm gonna be interested to see if his run just goes in after, if he doesn't find the ice rod in here as well. Yeah, just a hard container in graveyard, so that's nothing that we need to do. Julian is gonna pick up his blue cane as well.
Oh, half magic in the King's Tomb. So
At least there was one good item in there.
Yeah. It'll help with the silverless fight, especially when you have no lamp.
Yeah.
Silverless with no lamp is that's a tough fight.
You basically hope that you get the torch clicks with the fire rod, and that is not the easiest either.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we are waiting here for Julian Ninja to get into get to Trinex, let's discuss here what the route was when it comes to the seed. They expected you to go to Hype Cave to get that Titan Smith, and then nearly immediately, and probably immediately dip into Swamp Palace so you can get a hook shot, so you could do and get the other sword, so that you could head over to Meyer to pick up the lamp to do the other stuff. That is a very dirty chain of events.
Ravis now heading up the mountain, so he'll get that ice rod and be in go mode shortly.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Jewel Ninja taking on Trinex.
Yeah. He has tempered, so it will be easy to take the heads down. And he's set up for phase 2.
But, so Jewel Ninja in just a minute or so is gonna be heading into Gan's Tower.
Yeah!
Do you want to explain a little game that we like to play?
Oh, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere in GT we have the big key. It can be in 1 to 22. I want you guys to put into the chat what you think it is. What do you think?
I like to guess number 1.
Ooh, you're hoping for a class C today, I hear.
For sure. What do you guess?
I'm saying number 4.
Alright.
And for no particular reason at all. And there we go, Ravis is now also in go mode, also has tempered. So he's also gonna go quickly through GT. And as we heard on the music there, May has finished off Argus and is on 6 crystals as well. And there we go. The gates are open. And we're gonna see Julian start off on the left side. We start off with a torch, where we see a small key. So they didn't need the boots today.
No, but they're always nice to have.
Yeah. So, says number 2 is a small key. Says number 3 is 50 rupees. Chest number 4 is another small key, and chest number 5 is a swag net. And we are gonna see a Dark Magician strat from Julian Ninja.
There it is, number 7. So,
It is! Nice. I was watching long screen, sorry. So, looking here, it was actually the very first guesser who guessed right. Congratulations to Savisti for being the one who guessed right. Congratulations. And yeah, just coming in right first out with the guess and was right. That is nice.
So, Jewel Ninja, I expect to check all the chests upstairs, hoping for those silver arrows. If he doesn't find them, I'm not sure. I think he may have fluted to pick up some potions. I hope he did, because again, doing silverless on 1 bar of magic, that is pretty iffy. Okay, he does have a blue potion then.
Yeah, he has a blue potion. He also has both the powder and that wonderful swag net, so he could cash a fairy if he really wanted to.
And Chazami did go back in for left side swamp. So a little bit of time lost there, unfortunately, but he's going to get the boots.
Yep, that is nice for him. And we see his run also seeking out the boost locations, and is now going back to the mountain. So Yasvan is going to be on Gomer soon as well. And while all of that was happening, I mean, Trinix actually had the mushroom today. What we're gonna say?
I don't know if anyone's gonna be checking that, but we got Jewel Ninja now on Ammo 2.
Yeah, and Ravis could actually cut up a lot of time here if he goes right directly, because there was a small key and a big key on the left side together, and on the right side of that together, so you can have a very quick dip into GT. Oh, sorry, it wasn't, but you can then go over to the torch and get that little small key. We are seeing Ravis go left as well.
Alright, Jewel Ninja.
Yeah, and he's checking the chest. So green rupee in that one, and in this one, a red rupee. 2 chests left that he's gonna check in the game.
Ravis, unfortunately, going full left.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. And a small key in the chest before for Molem 2. Right now, you're probably hoping for the silvers in the validation chest. And there we go. Molem 2 is down. Your ninja is hooking across and finds bombs in the last chest of G.
Alright, well. We'll see how Jewel Ninja does with this fight. Getting the torch glitch is going to be extremely important here.
Yeah, Absolutely.
We're just finding a second shield and a butter sword.
That is very nice. Oh, a nice spin there from Julian. It looks like Julian has done his geometry homework. And yeah, Aga 2 is down, which means it's time for the pig.
Yeah, and worth noting, we have not had any finishers yet, so Jula Ninja could be going for first place here.
I wouldn't be surprised, actually, today, if that we haven't seen anyone finish yet.
And Gannon sharing his shower thoughts about burritos.
Come on, Gannon, don't do that. You just make me hungry.
Jula getting through the first two phases, no problem here.
Takes a lot of damage from the bats, so gonna have to be a little bit careful moving forward. He has a blue goo, but you don't want to take that damage. You want to use that blue goo for as mana backup.
Yeah, for sure. And switching to that fire rod.
Yeah. At the same time, we see that Ravis has started his gauntlet run. And also, we see that fourth phase now for Julian. Is he gonna get the course glitch? That is important.
No, he missed it. Ooh,
And
this is rough.
The Torso Sound are very much upset there because he missed the one. I would just wait here until the second torch goes out.
Oh no, he just
Someone
missed two
missed-
more shots.
This is gonna be hard for Julian now.
Yeah, this is really bad for Jula. I don't know if he has a second blue goo. Okay, he does. So he might be able to pull this off. But he's gonna have to be very, very accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, he's missed a couple more spins.
Come on, Julian. You can do this.
I haven't been counting, but he's down to his last blue goo.
Yeah.
And he's missed another spin, unfortunately.
At the same time, we see Ravis has finished this Land Molars too. And Sismay has now also his 7th crystal. Get your prayers into the chat, guys. Julian needs your support at the moment. That was a nice one there for Julian.
He's down to half a bar magic. He's got 2 more cycles left. He needs to be very accurate here.
Yeah. He's trying to time in so he can get 3 hits there from wondering what he was waiting for. But there it is,
done.
the final hit from Julian.
Well, that was a that was a nervous fight for sure. But
Yeah.
GG, Jula Ninja.
He raises his sword to the sky, he walks across the bridge, and he finishes off with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 34 minutes and 34 seconds. He is the first of the race stream, and he comes in at 2nd place in the race overall. the winner of today's race was Corid, which come in with an official time of 1 hour 33 minutes and 17 seconds. But yeah, look at Julian's fight there. He could have definitely sniped the first position there if he had a little bit better fight against Ganon. At the same time, we see that Ravis is fighting against Agatu. And a very nice spin there from Ravis. So looking at our other runners, we see Hitswan is currently doing the torches, while Sid Mei has just entered the gauntlet. And there we have it, Ravis has entered Ganon. He has butter, he has cape, he has half magic. He has a few extra balls, he's probably enough to worry about. And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Julian Ninja to the chat.
GG.
That Ganon fight was heart-pounding type of fight.
Let's not speak of that bad Ganon fight.
I mean, anytime you have to do silverless with no lamp and no half magic, that is rough. All of our other runners did find half magic. Do you want to know where that was?
Sure.
It was at King's Tomb.
Have time for boot spots?
What's that?
I didn't have time for boot spots.
Yeah, I noticed you just ran straight up the mountain after getting those boots.
I mean, I kind of forgot the boot spots.
Oh.
Take into consideration.
Yeah. I managed to get... So, it was, that's always a difficult fight, especially when you miss the torch glitch.
Miss the torch glitch and then I keep missing the torches anyway afterwards.
Yeah, it got a little sweaty there when you started to run out of potions.
Let's talk though about your play in the Swamp Palace, because that's really what set you apart from the other runners. So what made you go into Swamp Palace before Ice Palace? Oh no, Ravis took a dive. That's unfortunate.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
go ahead.
No, it's all good. Swamp was just... it made... that hookshot could be in Swamp rather than Ice to me. The layout could just deny you right side entirely, which it did in this case, I'm pretty sure. Iced tea though.
The shovel was
Oh,
in Ice Tea room. Or no, it was on the right side. Yeah, a couple of the runners full cleared ice, and a couple just got the first two items and then said, I'm going to Cold Stair. The shovel didn't lead to anything. I think it was just bombs.
Yeah, I was kind of banking on Ice Rod being up on the mountain more in the dig spot. Go grab it and flip back up.
All of our other runners went into ice before going in the swamp, and then went up to Turtle Rock. So you were the only one who single dipped Turtle Rock. Everyone else double dipped that.
It was also...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's cool. I was gonna say that flippers were just gotten, so...
Yeah.
instead of ice.
We do also know that there are. We do also know that there are a few people who would argue for the other way there. With that, I got flippers, but I don't that hook, so I'm not gonna go into swamp yet. Yeah, right now we're seeing Ganon on 3 screens.
Yeah, this is pretty
Oh, boy.
close.
Yeah, we see Hitran on the 4th phase has already gotten a few spins in. At the same time, Ravis and Seasmay is on 3rd phase. Ravis has just started his 4th.
Yeah, this is gonna be close between Ravis and Shizame.
Yeah, and there we have it. The last spin has been hit by Hitran. Get your GGs in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Hitran is gonna be our 2nd runner to finish off here on the restream. He clocks in with an official SIL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes and 54 seconds. That's earns him a 3rd place in the race overall, and welcome to the chat.
GG's.
Hey, GG.
You want to know a little bit of a sad thing that happened?
Someone went before me, Swan.
No, that is what happened for Julian. I was not thinking about that.
While our
They-
sword was accessible all the time.
Yeah, well, Ravis, who right now finished off Ganon, was first into the fight, but he fell down.
Yeah, and he was out of magic, so he had to flute over to the potion shop. So, and Ravis and Shizame almost simultaneously finishing here.
Yes, they are finishing off at 6th and 7th place, so respectively, with 141.57 for Ravis and 142.03 for Jasmine. So 6 seconds between them. That was an interesting. It was
Yeah,
an
this
intense.
was an exciting race. So, looks like, okay, Chizame has declined an interview saying he's got to run, but Ravis will be joining us shortly.
I guess my biggest time issues in the seed was dipping Turtle Rock and doing Desert instead of Zoa.
And
Yeah.
welcome Ravis to the chat also. Let's bring him in.
GG, Ravis.
GG's.
But I was going to ask
GG.
you, Hitsune, yeah, about that desert play. What was your thinking there?
I got yesterday item on Lenmo, so after I got the gloves, I thought, okay, Zoa or Lenmo has the item, and yeah, I gambled for Lenmo.
Well, yeah, the thing is, Lamo was actually out of logic there. It was boots locked.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
when
it
the
was
torch
definitely,
is on the when the key is on the torch, it is considered boot locked.
Good to know.
Don't tell me you didn't know that until now. How can you?
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a time loss, but it wasn't too bad. Overall, most of you, it was a pretty linear seed overall. Yeah, you mostly you went up and did Heron Mountain, and then you went to Pod and Hype Cave, then to Thieves Town and Skull Woods. Only after that, Julo Ninja went into Swamp first. Before going into ice. The rest of you went into ice. So that set Julo Ninja apart, getting that hook shot earlier, and then not having to double dip Turtle Rock. All the rest of you all ended up double dipping Turtle Rock there. So just kind of like an unfortunate.
We also had that fact that when after you guys were down on the mountain, you guys went off to different places. Ravis just clocked in where the moon pearl was directly, so he was the first one into the dock.
Obviously on Zora. You got the gloves, come on. Unlocks one check. It's so obvious. Also, Eastern was rather unattractive since we know the lamp is in Myers, so no. I couldn't believe we actually got 3 items out of Eastern without lamp.
Wasn't there a sword on a location I skipped or something?
No, the last sword was in, I think, Random Room in GT.
Yeah, I went full lift.
What?
Oh man.
I tried, like, I died.
Wrecked.
I unfortunately died on Cold Stare. So then I thought about making a play early in Swamp. I was like, maybe just go Eastern first. Then I went Swamp. Was a bit surprised. Got my boots immediately after that, and then GT full left, and also Ganonfall. That's really bad. I mean, I'm surprised I'm like 8 minutes behind the first and 7 minutes behind the first on restream. So I guess there were things happened to them as well, because I can't explain, like, this was such an amount of time lost.
Yeah, well, you were actually ahead for most of it, since you skipped out of Eastern and so on. But it was when Julo went into Swamp and got that hook shot, and the rest of you all went to Ice. So that was when Julo pulled ahead.
How much further was Julo when you entered GT?
I think
I mean,
Julo was
full left.
Julo was in the middle of the. Yeah, Julo had just gotten to upstairs GT right around the time you were looking for the big key, so probably about 5 minutes or so.
Oh, okay. 5 minutes? Are you sure? That sounds
Something like that.
That sounds weird. What happened to Julo? Did you die as well?
I didn't die, I just had a really bad Silverless Ganon fight.
You had MS or what?
Yeah, I'm just gonna fill in. He missed a bunch of spins and also missed a lot of fire rod shots.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
And the torch witch.
I assume.
Yeah, you had Julo almost ran out of magic there. I think you had maybe 1 cycle left before you would have had to go find more magic.
Yep, and that was with 2 blue
So-
potions.
My
Which
shot was so close with the fire rod.
Which
was
shot
on
did you miss? The
max
one in
range.
Hookshot Cave or in Swamp? Sorry to interrupt you.
Raven. Well, everyone got all the swords except for the one in GT. Ravis
okay. I
was
thought
the
Julo
one
was
fine.
on Master Sword. So,
No.
He was not tempered.
No, I would have.
Cause still, I'm still confused. Like, a Cold Stare death is pretty costly. A Ganonfall with going back, get magic and stuff is also very costly. A full left when the GT Bicky is again in the same location as last time I was restreamed is a massive amount of time lost.
Well, like I said, your early game routing was a lot more efficient than the others.
Yeah,
So
I
you
guess
were
so.
you were ahead earlier on. It was just those execution problems, I guess, cost you a little bit of time.
Yeah, a little bit is good.
My early game cost me 10 minutes.
Yeah, that is.
I doubled it Eastern Palace double and Desert double.
Why did you double the Eastern?
I checked Sash before, then I turned in the green pendant, and then I went in Eastern.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, I thought you were dipping Eastern Palace.
No,
twice. Never mind.
The area 2 times.
I went to the area twice as well.
Yeah, same. Just later on.
It was too classic for me. Set the Moon Palace on Zora. That is. I don't want to see every time the same Moon Pearl.
Well, to be fair, we know where the lamp is, so Eastern is really unattractive technically, even if we have bow. And the only thing you get on Death Mountain with your logical hammer access is the glove, and the glove is only good for one thing. So I had that way too often that Zora has progression and was immediately thinking, hey, I might have missed the moon pearl. I'm sure it's not in Eastern. Yeah, well,
Yeah, I don't follow every time the item chain in the early game because the stuff for the Dark World can be everywhere.
well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
kind of. But yeah, those first two chests you guys opened, what were your thoughts when you saw both Fire Rod and the bow?
That was really good.
I was
Yeah.
wondering why we get the fire rod this early, and then I read Lamp in Maya. I was like, the seed is kind to us. That's why we got fire rod early.
Kind hookshot and swamp.
Yeah, that's the other side of the kind. At least I snapped Kisama.
Yeah.
After the boots on the tablet thing I read, I was thinking about dipping swamp and don't did that. So unfortunate.
Yeah.
And you had to do that to get the boots, even. That's insane. Like that's why I went Eastern, because I was like, okay, I'm probably missing a sword for my hookshot. I don't want to see which item it was. I just had the hint that there's a unique item from Ice, and then I was like, okay, I guess I have to bite the bullet and go back to Eastern, get a sword, and if not, then go risky and go into swamp. And then I see the hookshot. I was like, oh my god, please see, what the heck?
But yeah, any last thoughts from you guys?
As always, thank you for restreaming and commentating, tracking, Adium the man, doing everything here on SG. Also you, Angels, of course, and GG to everyone, GG to Koroid, who won the race, and Julu, who won the restream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
So before we wrap up, sorry, go ahead.
No, I said whoever said already everything.
All right. Before we wrap up, I just want to read off our finishers. So first place was Khalid, 133. Julo Ninja came in second with the 134. Hitsoyan was in third with the 140. Nobly was in fourth with a 141. Salty Fry in fifth with a 141.56. Ravis just 1 second behind in sixth. And Shizame just 6 seconds behind Ravis in seventh with the 142.03. Eighth place was Voosh with 146. Ninth place was Hayfield Bay with a 147. And in 10th was Shire with a 151. And in 11th was Frostbite 3030 with a 153. So that's all the finishers that we've had so far.
Yes, and looking at the schedule coming up at 6:30 is when the next thing here on Speed Gaming starts. It is the Super Metroid Dab, will be at Speed Gaming 2. There was also been another one at 7 p.m. at Speed Gaming 3. Here, there's also Kirby Nightmare in the Dreamland over at Speed Gaming at 7:30 p.m. At 8 p.m. is the Luigi's Mansion Noah Out of Bounds tournament. And at 9 p.m. it is the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Weekly on Speed Gaming 3 and Magic the Gathering Arena at Speed Gaming. And we don't have right now scheduled where the next daily race is going to be scheduled, so keep an eye on the schedule for once that gets locked in.
Yeah, and before we go, I just want to shout out again to our other tracker, Nielsen Alex. I know he was planning to race in this one, but withdrew so that we could have two trackers. So big thanks to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Nielsen, for coming in here real quick, and thanks to you, Ephraim, for doing hybrid today.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. This was definitely an exciting race. Close finish between 3 of the runners.
Yeah, absolutely. And add on that also I think it was Salty Fry as well. It became a really interesting finish. Yeah, guys, that's gonna be everything for us. My name was Angels, that was Ethium, and we are signing out.
Have a good day, everyone.